including Auditor General's 2017 report pointing at former Executive Secretary of Health Training Institutions, Dr. Christopher Baire, in the era of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. The report cited misappropriation of 28,000 Ghana cedis used to support his sister's funeral. In a latest development, Dr. Christopher Baire had forcefully trespassed the parcel of land belonging to a Ghanaian US-based citizen without requisite document to the land. Tonight, the Frontline investigates, name, shame, and expose these characters in darkness and make way for equity with clean hands. I am Kweku Anan, and this is the Frontline. Tonight, we're live across many dozens of stations, and of course, with our own picking the feed in where? In the Bono region, precisely Sunyani 88.1 FM picking the feed. We're live in Western region on 99.1 FM. That's Tadi FM. And of course, we are live here, also in our studios and also across the superhighway, my CTV GH on YouTube, Facebook, respectively, all picking the feed tonight. Let's get started. Anadri, you know, sign Ababisi in Kunya. Come. 25th of March 2024, the year of our Lord. And then Namidi show you ebro. Emuya kama papa. Adaji susu e niponoso. Na and then come on yenu bidini na free se. Brano show no ye boa and nyoma bi ano ye sisa bibim ye de bi free ani ye de bi free ani ye yibi ani de abesha na ye eden ye ko. Me sure say ever since I show you as a one segment back one. Yatu din Ghana Speaks. Ghana Speaks is a thought-provoking issue. Say boa and sembiano ebi ikofa echichichini de aba ebi susu ade AC ewo man ebi susu ye de AC ewo African continent no so na edi na aba be group no so am say hwe ni sei na ye de bi ye de eboa ebie Ghana for no yadwini mu any understanding in our local politics. Folks, tonight asema dapono so na and Krabata Bakwa and the Frontline show, we call it the Frontline Investigate. Investigation back when you read Nanuya. So investigation never did the massive political corruption scandals are rocket the fourth Republican government. All the governments in right from Rawlings, Kufuor, Atamels, Mahama, and then the current president, His Excellency Adodankwa Akufo-Addo Mokaya. And what report in the two brand on say you can't corrupt cases and as scandals are rocky the fourth Republican Constitution. Nature say enyemi na meka yo Ghana for na hu ye report in the two brand name free me Kweku me ho. Na efri hefa efri enyoma a capture ewo system no mu a ni na no. According to reports, SSC investigated, next year the blueprints bebao, ye betri obiaso ye bedio, and Ghana for Mutinina. That was what ye did to last week. And God. And the Frontline investigates spotlight is also on why Openibia also belonging to Amanya Kubi. Now Openi just say Ocean Yoma Air Konwa. And just be nye dwuma baby kire se me bisa me ho se Kweku why say nipa bi ebekwa akohyehyɛ amanyokuo bi echi na ye yusu saa tumi no e de abo nipa bi epo ye de esisi nipa bi na yaye ne se because of say me kwadwo kwame kwabena Kweku because of say I belongs to this amanyokuo nti metimi e yusu saa tumi no na me de esisi nipa aboni people aye de men won say oftentimes meni mu di nkoma ya na meka say ade ba ko Kweku mi buni papa o but ade ba ko I cannot, will not and may not tolerate is politicians are both NDC and MPP. Now obetse often the language they use. Do you know me? Do you know who I am? Do you know what I minimum they mean TB. But a idea as I said the media Ghana ni a wo hwe me wo ka ho ye boy ya homework ne say sa politicians say wonom wo amanyoku omienumi wo meja suban we na agro no ye nkamba wo fia e na wo se agro no ye de ye kaba wo fia e na wo beti say ei da bi enya sa na ese ye makwan ma esie na nina no the frontline investigate ne kire say enne no ye spotlight no ewo papaya he belongs to the National Democratic Congress ayora Dr. Christopher Fenesen Byron na papaya why into a spotlight in our banner. So now let me also give the kind of saying the silver liner to be HSM. Ye ko ye nimuno politicians sibia one my who say womo hye MPP mu womo hye NDC mu no mo pese womo use the name of the political establishment edi kodin samone no mu wia wo mu be gina hoye te say oh because me share NDC mu me share MPP mu nti na party no will be forced to come and defend Sebe wo mo sem fu wo mu di wabonte no. That is also one thing this program is about to expose them. Okay? Yes. Etimo say mo be kaya from the beginning of this program I've mentioned some names in some political party in NDC. Maboni mpenimfo bidin said they should come out and speak. The Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, Alban Kingsford Sumana Bagbane, me say so kasa. Why? Makasa why? The current majority leader, Kwame Afenyo Marken, as a so kasa. Haruna Idrisu, former minority leader, Emma, the opposition party of Parliament, as a so kasa. Na meka edi ajeden. Reference in saying the reference was say the E11 before one more pass E11 me see a dreadie bi ekos and I still stand by this. I still stand by say send pay amabobo mudi including Ora Kennedy Kwame Japan. All of this in Pinifo must speak. Konkonu a wo musi no eso mbeka mu asem kire Ghana for. And you see ye makwan Emma nipa bi nhihye NDC mu quietly all with the hope say one more train na ora John Mahama abeji tumi na omu di tumi no ebedi etuturasem nyamana sem ne nsamfon akere Ghana for I kweku will not allow this. And me as a journalist me makwan so Emma obi nhye NPP mu na on saying yusu NPP power omukuta sabre no offense sisi ni nua Ghana ni bi enye adwuma oho. And as some of you, Montiasia, ever since the build up to this very expose, Enipebia started trotro, krate BDPA. But tonight, I'll be left with no choice but to mention some name, and I'm going to deal with you squarely, even though I am mourning. Say, I'm sure myself, some stupidity, no, I will not allow my platform to be used for such. No. I meant not to go this direction tonight. But more ya force my midro. And the anadjuwe. The Frontline investigate. Yeah, there are some kesiye beto. Papaya Mabonidin or a member of the National Democratic Congress. Womunimno. Now you see, ebebwa mwankasa MPP, ebebwa mwankasa NDC for say the charlatans, new crooks, no mushisha mo party nimno. You be expose mo before. You allow them to go for positions and before many better no more no mugumu party ni muase. Ora John Mahama should be pleased enough to know Sabriya muwo positioning. Enipa bain one mo she NDC mu a. Ye prese Ora John Mahama emenya power no mo kwagiji position. Meanwhile, wo mo asunim say e kwan a wo ne John Mahama nam so no enya kwan a eye so decent enough. There is no trust in them. Huh? There's no loyalty in them. They are only simply trying to follow John Mahama, all with the zeal, say, obey Winipa, no Makoji post. Meanwhile, women said they don't have the love for former President Mahama. I can only do one thing. For John Mahama said, Mr. President, I will expose some of the charlatans in your party for you to know them ahead of time before you consider give power to such and I will be your power no we must such persons we they post. Meanwhile, no in the name of NDC, Ejina Bontain, Eddie Dean, some money, ACC Ghana for, and also one Tiasia. And such unscrupulous scavengers, Tiabontain, making references to Yanka, Sequequanan, Bao, can you imagine? And somebody send messages on platforms say yes. Kwekwanan, Tama, Oba CMJ. Some people were protesting and said no. Maybe you will see and winnie. What? I'm so pissed off this evening. When my producer sent me some of these messages. And I want to be Mama Junior. Why can't you be so level-headed, Kakra? Me producer Jina Mr. Kweku, hold on. Me say no, I'll read it. I'll read it. I believe in stupidity. I will read, name you, and shame you as a repugnant fellow. And you better take your eye off my program. I mean, to me, your program, not Ghana, and your sanity. What? Folks, and name Reno, I don't want to be provoked. But before I ever call your name on Ghana Speaks, part 1 and 2, Edwina Sisi Horia, I am with deep heart and of course grieved. And those of you friends and loved ones who know me somehow know say yes, Kweku, I am mourning ever since this weekend. The great man who gave birth to this very talkative Yotihe. Let me put a smile on my face and get the job done. The great man who puts the seed of this man, and that's my own father. Yes, J.K. Annan. That's my father. He's my father, and of course, my best friend has passed on over the weekend. Yes. And I mean to come and do the program way so solemnly and then go. Na bibiano. Inti make way so Emma, the good ones out there, loved ones out there. Of course, I am Maniani Amamremeboa. Yes, my old man, Joseph Kwesi Annan, the senior, had passed on to glory. Onane Papa Owa Branti you see. Yes. My old man dedicated his whole life to services to God and country. My old man is one of a renowned engineer, Oyejuma Emma Omei, in many ways. Once worked with Ghana Water Corporation, now that's defunct, now Ghana Water Company, and was one of their biggest engineers. My dad, together with the Canadian Corporation, Womona echo the whole of the Northern Belt. Northern Belt, and then my dad was part of this Canadian Corporation group. Womo echo Northern region, echo supply, and as Womuko pavy way for potable drinking water for the entire Northern Belt, Upper East, West, Northern region, and beyond. Yes, my father was part of this team. And other great men who continue to work with Ghana Water Company today. Yes, my dad was one of those pioneers. They did in Supa, echo the whole Northern region, Upper East, Upper West. And my dad also came in close shave with some Northern renowned politicians like Ambrose Derry, Honorable late Edward Salia, Martin Alamisi Amidu. Those days, Martin Amidu was PNDC secretary to the Upper East. We were there. In the mini classmate to Aho, the whole of the life we live over there. And my dad served this nation so well when it comes to Omenya yetimi adeba kwa ema nipa be survive ye den insuo ene enyinam kanea ana. And I'm proud to say my dad served in that line of duty, services to God and country. He also impacted some life onto other renowned men in the body of Christ today. Isturanaba is like a senior brother to me because he was close to the family. My dad was an engineer, also a man of God, and impacted a lot of wisdom on Isturanaba. Istud is like a brother to me and the family. In those American software somewhere, I'm not saying it out of ignorance. Oh. No, I know what I'm talking of. Minima software moya papa, any software moya kushifu, any nabrabafo. And see, folks, I am mourning. Mami sumisu. I have cried and I've done what? And I am here now to do my work. Again, let me thank all friends and loved ones all over the world who continue to wish me all the condolences, especially that of my chairman, Alhaji Sidio Agongo, wishing me all the, blah, 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 Kweku, I'm there for you. There's my HR, Lizzie, my operations manager, Theo, Frank, all the good guys, including my immediate production team. All of you, thank you for this extending olive branch to me and those of you out there. Every pemono, you be put to all the necessary things for you to know. So, folks, Kwekuanan, I'm mourning. Timi Pacho, Obama Katia be da. You're careful. Now, baby, Edru Sabrino, on the brighter side of life, we straight away to Ghana Speaks. Now, in this edition, we tap into the knowledge base of some African scholars and their views, perceptions, and assessment of the continent and where we are going. Ebusia, what was there? Menemo started program way. Menemo to two kwanya where Ghana Speaks Part 1. Part 2 no ye beba investigation so but ye for we improper kwem. Menemo to two kwanya elwa na me de asofo ne de naba. Elwa na efini ewura the continent ni mu. Now tonight you do rap African continent no. Na fi ya assessment say continent we yare ben sa and ye yare. Folks, Shannon so say me WhatsApp line no and ubetime use WhatsApp line 020-297-3461 WhatsApp line 020-297-3461 and of course the program is live in where in Sunyane for 88.1 Mutie Western Region Tadi FM 99.1 social media no YouTube baby ubenya Facebook or ubenya ni na kama now we say oftentimes they make can say Africa ade ba ko edi yenya na kese no some called religion Christianity na no ye Christianity na sin chen na fi yaba ye stray into the perspectives of yankasa say the yadwene no esi ye adwuma fa wo yi som to nchen a because wo mo de som no na ebe ha yen wo mo de say yen bibia and ever since Africa yen ni papa pa bia bio. But before meba main Ghana Speaks expose kese bi so nam kwan mo ba and say expose me bo hu de amount sharp throughout the programs here yen na kire say say expose as I say and also landed a top secret blueprint uncovered the roadmap to the downquest hegemony in Ghana. Indeed, the blueprints would also reveal the dark secrets of conglomeration of roadmap, detailing an alleged orchestration of paramount chief together with echelons in government to capture state power. Ebe humpao and namkwemoba. But I want you to watch this and watch it well. Saying an expose no emunsem ebeye. Watch this closely whilst I get ready to take you through Ghana Speaks. Take a listen to this.
dynasty plan to continue on the legacy of a family hungry for power has been uncovered. A plan that will make the Danquist rule forever. But here's the third. This will not stand, as the length of the Frontline has captured a document titled Ejapade. For details about the plan, findings, execution, and the blueprints of this whole dynasty plan, watch this space in the coming days, weeks, and months as we uncover the truth of the dynasty plan of the Danquist. This is Code Red Season 1 of the Frontline, coming soon.
Folks, welcome back, and of course, expose we and Namkwemoba. And then she also say, a week and then Monday would be holiday, but we'll be here to work. Now, and also expose be Namkwemwa. That will be on Monday. The Frontline would have will hold an exclusive one-on-one with a renowned personality who is going to break the code, the reason behind the construction of the National Cathedral. He would also decode the mystery behind the death of Kwabena Boadu, former aide to Vice President Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia. And then, of course, finally, he would decode two political leaders whose rule, according to him, mark an end of occultic rule in Ghana. I don't know them. But our job, I say, ubia ukuta information, we allow these people to decipher. Folks, now straying into Ghana Speaks. Medin Kama Foundation is said, say, scholars here may be bomfoni actually are anything to go by. Ubebi say, and you need dear pan African leadership. We apart from say religion, high, sum, CCA, sum, frayeni, sum, danning your maybe quanta. A few years here, business say, dear pan leaders na any yankasa yen use some in sinchen dear na higher. Now oftentimes it's said Africans can be emancipated, but the only means to manifest this would be that Africans must emancipate themselves socially, politically, economically, and religiously, and the rest shall be added unto us. And I tend to agree with. Say, and yes, Africa yen to me ye fa hudio no ye bet me. Na ye fa hudie no enya no ejina ya yeso ye fa hudie no ye bedi ye ho no ye betu anamon ya ye de se na fata ejina yankase ya so enyino bi so everywhere se Ghana kutani independence on the 6th of March 1956 we celebrate we independence na when you saying 67 years and then what else again, folks? So be say a dear pan has a before and our concept of thinking and our way of doing things. Now tonight we begin this journey with Professor Manning of World Ministries, his views, assessment, and how he sees Africans perform in their various endeavors. Maybe bomb for niachro. Pape, where African or African American or America anymore. Na ne understanding about how a before ye and your man osusu se wo yi se abrofo no aba be say aye ne mapia yanka sanso bi before no kra no yesu ne ye ban ene ye ete say. And I want you to watch this carefully and make a sense of it. Take a listen to Professor Manning.
What's wrong with you, black women? What's wrong with you voting for Barack Obama? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy. Black people, let me tell y'all something. If you don't ever hear me say preach again, they can kill me tomorrow. But let me tell you something. We're not going to ever get anywhere until we look into the mind of a black man. I know you're talking about Egypt. Egypt is not Africa. There are no great cities that were built even before the first colonization of white people. Come coming to the shores of Africa or the slave ships, black men built nothing. No sewer system, no houses above one level, and none of them made out of stone. All of them made out of grass and wood. Black men, before the white man ever got to Africa, the worst thing that could ever happen to South Africa was when they gave it to Nelson Mandela and black folk. That was a great nation. Now, notwithstanding apartheid was wrong, we all know it's wrong. I'm against it. There should have been some other resolution, though, than turning it over to Nelson Mandela. Disease, AIDS, and crime is running wild in Johannesburg. They're killing one another over there. They're dying of sickness. The government is mismanaged. The people who ran the nation are now leaving the nation because black folk don't know how to run no nation. They don't know how, and we need to admit it. I know you don't like it, but you need to stop shucking and jiving. We got a problem. Nigeria produces oil every year, yet the children over there are hungry and pot-bellied and walking barefoot. We got a problem. You talk about the Hutus and the Tutsis. Look what's going on in Zimbabwe now with Mugabe. We got a problem, black folk. And forget about Zimbabwe and South Africa, Nigeria. Look at what y'all have done in Harlem. You can't even hold on to Harlem. We got a problem. Black folk don't understand the world. You can get mad with me all you want. You can say what you, but you can't prove me wrong. Now, I'm not saying this because I hate black folk. I'm saying it because I love you enough to tell the truth. And the only person going to ever help us get out of the situation is going to be God. There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind.
Folks, try to make a sense of what Professor Manning is saying. Abrofono, the white supremacist in free hakoye. And to yemi say, we are Ghanaian. Use your head here. Bring your head. All of us. Abrofono koyen, oh said, Debbie, I say this with passion. Say, and to the Bronina yeno may be enough or not enough. Yemi say, who say, and so mu koyen, yankasi yebrani yebone saying. Do we still have the white man to be blamed for our woes, our setbacks, our roadblocks, and booby trap? How are we managing ourselves? Even to the extent that democracy in a practicing crime. Say, African peninfo, African mukotra AUA. What you should be telling yourself is that why can't you sit to derive a democracy of your own? Own the narrative near Have they been able to do that? Again, another renowned entrepreneur views an opinion whether or not Africans can make it to the top would be that Africans must stop the syndrome of the crab attitude. Now, Papaya may be born in phone in switch say. Now, Oshemwa Utimuze, se bibini yebetinia sorry amaya homeneso, near Swedim Puntuo, any kunimdieni ye dear, Abba Yankasi Abrabrum, Subaby what a before ya one as a CAJ. But you know what? Very interesting here. Before me try we are children, Radia. Check Africans, Ghanaians here in Ghana, Nigerians, South Africans, Kenyans, Zimbabwe, all over Africa. So what check here? Ube who said this, including Akata for no Mugu America or no. Ube who said, Yang na Yesubaya bako. We are all with one attitude. So meaning that we ain't changing. Na dia entrepreneur we person catch me no me say ade ba ko ne betimi aya ebe boa ye na ye kanko e de ba ade it will be there as a see jai sa suban boni we ya ni nua na ekọ de so ya ne say so find any means not twene ba from and bisa ho wa wo hwe me imre say how often and sa suban we wa practice wa participate ekwan ya wode unua bia fa so wadwumam ekwan bia wode unua bia fa so awarem kwan bia wode unua bia fa so asorem kwan bia wode unua afa so e wo business setting. This is what Africans we do to ourselves. Take a listen to him.
Well, he's at the back. I'll introduce you to him. He came to fix my jacket. He's project managing the whole program for us. Some of you asked me on social media what happened to the hub in Venda. Guys, can I, just before you go, I want to say something, and this is going to go on the record, so I know I'll be destroyed for this, but it's my truth, so f*** it. Black people were not ready for freedom. We weren't. We were not ready for freedom. I've studied everywhere we have been liberated, whether or not we were able to liberate ourselves from our own bondage. And it's a deep question. So, study us as a people. This is not a criticism, it's a reflection. If you differ, I'm happy to share perspectives. But study us as a people. You notice that everywhere where we are in bondage, we are phenomenal at fighting for our liberation. Once we've received it, something goes wrong. And the mindset is pervasive. And it's pervasive, it's invasive, it's insidious. It's like a virus. And if you try and remove, you know, once a virus takes over a cell, it multiplies. And so the reason you can't remove the virus is the only way to kill it is to kill the host. That's where we are. So, when a person amongst us does something, rather than celebrate, we ridicule. Rather than collaborate, we compete. Rather than support, we sabotage. I thought long and hard about why is this? Like it's been bugging me. And then I realized something. That whether it was apartheid, colonization, the Jim Crow laws in the US, all of those systems of oppression had one singularity in communication. They said to black people, only one. That's it. So in slavery days, there was only one house nigger. The rest of y'all worked in the field. When we negotiated for our South Africa, there was only Mandela at Codesa. All the other political parties had to sit and watch the ANC. When we got our liberation, there was only one Cyril at the board. Only one. So when a black person makes it, the rest of us go, shit, he's taken the seat. That's why we practice crabs in a bucket. We go, the only way I get that seat is if I'm tatu vosi. We don't think multiplier. Make sense? So he's going, I want to make a supercar. Nobody's going, how do I make tires for a supercar? We all go, shit, now he's done it. I'm telling guys, this is my most honest reflection on, and I've thought about, do I make it available? Do I share it on social media? I was just like, the time will come. This is felt right as the time. People will see this and I'll get slated for it, I'm sure. But I'm telling you now, I see it with me. The only people who attack are the people who want the seat. But here's what you're not seeing. I'm sitting where I'm sitting, and where I'm sitting, the system I'm fighting, if I get it right, opens for all of us. So, you know, it's the guy who fights Makosa. It's the guy who fights Tula Cindy. It's the guy who fights a Trevor Noah. What you don't recognize is what they are doing in their spaces makes it okay for us to be in those spaces. So don't fight Batu, fight Nike. Don't fight Makosa, fight Gucci. Do you get it? Like your mind, it's all wrong, guys. The mindset is this thing. Hey, man, we must be here. You know. My uncle always says, "Ndana, how never dula oblanga atanto? How never do?" Okay, cool. So the point I'm making, and so I don't want to get into the details of what happened in Venda, but let me put it to you this way. We got sabotaged. We went in, we got the land. I invested over 8 million rand building our hub We went in local supplies. Everything in my house was done by local people. The paving, the electrification, the fencing. 8 million rand I pumped into the local economy of Toronto. Then you know what happened? Proper sabotage. The municipal manager, the mayor, the commissioner of police, the police station manager, even the judge at the High Court were all in on it. Said this publicly, let him sue me, I got the money. And I asked myself, why would they do it? Because it's very simple. In their minds, a young guy can't just come, just. No. He must respect first. And you're just like, I'm trying to change the world.
Folks, as I'm going to know, and Komona Minimu Dino, my main can says in Jose. And yen penny na sebi in Predias, Sebi a cron to more shaman, and I met him with this uncomono. And Komoni Buma out to me say, Unia Sebi and Prediasa. The deep thinkers, the sharpen your massy, no moti eriasi, and ya braboase, and the way to me such and thoughts provoking. Alright? So we can sit together with think and talk and make a sense of it all. Dear Papa Ike, it's been the troubleshooting, it's been the debilitating forces of Africans. The anyone know. Ye nije. Ye sidie. On say ye wo a baby crow ye buse. Wo tamfo ye say ye bu ni sem ye say obi benya na wasre na chese wonya asem. Ye wo baby say ye bu anamu hu. Every facet of our lives is being driven by, sometimes call it a certain negative cultural tendencies bia. Unhu baby free. Yesi nipa benyaw asre no na bia na wonya asem ntia, and it's true. Enti won say yete hoya yete on my way mu on my way ntimi nko ye nyara on my way ntimi nya ne na so nyire nyara on my ntimi nya fapem enyina ye on my ntimi nko ne kanko enfie makomako aduasa ba ko ka ho 31 years. Now me tramfo ni we am na me sure say na wate on the back of say 31 years, this country continue to sleep in darkness. And how it's not worrying, it's not disturbing. Now again, Yembisa, question remain. How many governments, apart from NDC, MPP, who have taken the countdown all to wherever, to our destination of our political journey? Into whatever, no? Counting how many darkness, counting how many, that's nomenclature called doomsaw, how many times we've had. How many? Wait me, how many times? How many times of doomsaw that we've had under the 4th Republican Constitution? And these two parties ostensibly have driven all these years before you and I. And the sad part of it is that each one of them, depending what time the way back up, so obvious that their Orbano should just be prepared to say, Odobeko dumsom. Dio no tie trenua, ono owa anoa or kasano, onye no ho emwa prepare. And she solution in front to home yo there be nemom obejina wa kasa up pontification and the way they say and the way at the better and the way I mean that. And you think so quick, I'm not tired. I am tired. Allow me to speak my constitutional right, not what you think. That's why I am a man will be warning say this mo NDC MPP are grown up with no na me baba ya debate. That's what is provoking me tonight. I need not to be provoked. But somebody edi nsamfon bi pa. So, enti sa wo be kwa kwhye wo NDC echi. Ana wo be kwa kwhye wo MPP echi no mudi sa magro ya mude munnie. Me, I'm a journalist. Allow me to take these two parties to what? To the cleaners so that they get it right. There are a lot of Ghanaians such as like me kind of yempem NDC ni MPP ni NDC asemi o. We simply just want to be good citizens, law-abiding citizens, and expect that parties, depending on who comes, do what is expected of us. Near Hunter. Nanso, wahu. Ebra na mahama waku nyemuno. NPP fortna say with this nomenclature, ye, it will be said time on NPP to opposition. Ediam wa ena mwamu ye muhu with this doom so. What happened? At least, back when you kafa masum ni say, yes, agreement was agreement no friend take or pay. Miaminia Ernest Kofi Owusu Bempa, but try shows you somewhere else. Na ne ko hunti any said you Kofi si akunya ote so ko ya sori atiato Kofi Owusu. Men ka se gwegu bua unim. No be brumu me show mu din yo. Na just say take or pay ni na ko wie say your excess power, sa power no. We don't have a need for it. However, we are paying that excess power. Now, question remains: assuming that if it's what it is now, except to tell all Ghanaians right now, the country is suffering from what? A deficit supply of power. So therefore, if that power we were told, or earlier were told, say we don't have a use for it now. I don't know more supply and fair. Would you believe this take or pay agreement we say is anything to go by? When with the actual MPP. But a big way, NDC as a party are also there talking. What am I? Ora John Mahamenya power nombra. Ube hu asem ebesi esibium. As if this is not enough. 31 years. 31 years. And you sit there. What do you say? You want us to go on this path. Me se menko jame na me menya me de usi me right. When Africa, these people of color, this mind. And I'm here to tell you, sir, folks, we need more options. So we don't need dramatics. We need more options. We don't need dramatics. Agro di nkrobo tina hwem di ahwea kasa dede ubie wo radio na dede nkoa sesi ye kasa hwe the latent heat, the sun radiation, look at the intensity of it. Enye better sa mo amoso Venice AC nim ade is easy, but then assuming kra say ohu beto mpo e na obenya power no e na wo dey so AC na AC uso na ohu atowo a senche wo fedwane yes a power na be anyway nti no wo yende. At a point I made me bedroom, na say me fa papa bi di hu me ho ansa na metumi asra shematare. Are we okay? We need you way ho. Only way Africans here ya de. Into who mi san won kan kire ho say, dia kwaku wo kan ampa wu. Ye na ye ntena se together, tina de bia mekasa, together we sit to think and talk and make a sense of it. Wonti ase ntia. E bibifo suban no. Hwe mamefo we ensi then yebeko ye break near part 2. A Nigerian politician joined a train, seek to chronicle event, culminated in the assassination of many African leaders, who were, I may describe them as the torchbearers, and of course meant to do well for the continent. But what happened? Bebebo Nigerian politician yamawa, all bo African penufo edin, including our own President Osajefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Any idea, some African leaders, one mu ye, and I say a new man and to a person mu ye, at the board the continent Africa. And so there be on one yanku bibini. Ebe feature abu asabotage na said papa yi can pepe. When we see a suban intimacy sign, na best stand up. Yet we are also the very religious people. True or false? Is it not? One kasa Kwame Nkrumah, one minute two no. The conspirators of Kwame Nkrumah, one we Nigerians, one we South Africans, Zimbabweans, Kenyans, and one we Ghana for. Share Nelson Mandela. At the time Nelson Mandela fighting for the apartheid or fighting to cause for abolition of apartheid, no one kasa. The rights man, Chief Mangosuthu Buthelezi nipa ba ku din tentente asa homa aye kwoti adongo wo so Chief Mangosuthu Buthelezi no shall say zigzag no wo no Mangosuthu was also conspiring with the white supremacists. Say beya Mandela Ejuma a bear tall order. This is the mindset of the Africans. Ye bedru da ben ene sa akwantiwe. Folks, take a listen to this.
This is my quote and I repeat. Poverty is not the absence of natural resources, financial resources, or human resources. It is the absence of leadership.
Okay.
I'll begin by saying that when greed, tribalism, ethnocracy, and nepotism encapsulate a group of people, no matter how rich they may be, they will never see the future. Africans that have had the hearts to push the continent Africa to another dimension have been destroyed by Africans. Most of the fathers of independence had their nations at heart, and if they were given the opportunity to execute what they intended to do, it would have been very possible for Africa to have emerged ere long. I will give you a few analyses that will shock you. A country like Togo got independence from France under the leadership of Sylvanus Olympio. Olympio did not want the France CFA. Olympio created the Togo currency. But a man called Iyadema Nasimbe was used to eliminate, that is a Togolese, used to eliminate a Togolese that has Togo at heart. Iyadema Nasimbe killed Sylvanus Olympio. You go down to Burkina Faso, there is this guy called Maurice Yamiyogo. He was the one that gave them independence. He was annihilated. The person that came later after him, Thomas Sankara, in 1987, he was still eliminated by Blaise Compaoré. You come to Central African Republic, there's David Dacko. David Dacko was to change the nation in another dimension, but a man called Bokassa used to eliminate him. You go down to Congo Brazzaville, there's this guy called Maro Ngouabi. Ngouabi also was eliminated through a coup d'etat. Now, if you go down to Guinea Equatorial here, there was this guy called Masias Ngema. It was his own cousin, Obiangema Basoko, that was used to eliminate him. You go down to Ghana, Osage from Kwame Nkrumah had a good intention for the nation. It was Kotoko, his own clear neighbor, that eliminated him. You go to Nigeria, the guys of Nnamdi Azikiwe, they were eliminated by people close to them. Now, if you put it in a nutshell, you go to Mozambique, Samora Moise Machel, it was his close partner that eliminated him. The West, and I repeat, will never and ever have access to Africa until they use Africans. That's why I say what is eating the bean seed is within the bean seed. Africans are full with greed, full with ethnocracy, tribalism, and nepotism. And if nothing is done, we will keep on killing our best every year. As I talk to you recently, I would guarantee you all shorty that this guy Magufuli has convinced us against once more that Africa does not need any support out of the country. Lazarus Chakwera, in his 8-minute speech commemorating the death of Magufuli, he said, the unpredictable Magufuli. They did not know that leadership could run in Africa without money being borrowed from International Monetary Fund, because they did not know Magufuli was coming. They did not know that projects could be set up and executed on time, because they did not know Magufuli was coming. They did not know that somebody could not pay attention to International Assembly, General Assembly of the United Nations. They did not know Magufuli was coming. African presidents have given us the impression that you must borrow to succeed. Before Magufuli came to power, most of the mines in Tanzania were privatized. But what he did was that he came back and then sanctioned the foreign companies that were mining in Tanzania until 16% of those particular mines were given back as ownership back to Tanzania. A scenario occurred in Zambia. Zambia is the best producer of copper. You have the copper belt in Zambia. Zambia sold that copper belt to an American firm up front without payments, that they will exploit the copper and pay them later. American firm came, took that particular copper belt, turned it within 2 years and paid the money up front, and is giving Zambia a 0.00 something percent as royalty for their mine. Was that colonialism? It is talking about stupidity and poor management. Who brought gun to give that copper belt to America? Nobody brought gun. When last did you see Europeans using prestation, assimilation, or indirect rule in Africa? It's no longer there. Let us consider the fact that they are taking a greater chunk of our resources. The balance we have here is very possible for us to manage those things. How can a man come in 5 years' time without borrowing a dime from International Monetary Fund, a dime from World Bank? He was able to restore 6 aircrafts into the Tanzania airline. He was able to build bridges, build railway, restore back the Julius Nyerere hydroelectricity project that could give Tanzania 99% guaranteed electricity throughout the year without borrowing a dime. China proposed to borrow him 10 billion to reconstruct and expand the port in Dar es Salaam. He refused, yet the port was under extension. Where did he get the money? That's what we are talking about. A man that came and gave free education to all government schools in Tanzania. Mr. Leo, 20,000 ghost workers were discovered. That's where our money is going to. That's not colonialism. He also arrested 14,000 unqualified workers in the government. Those 34,000 persons who were earning salary they did not merit is what was melting down the economy, or not the colonial master. I think if we go down to most African countries, there are people who are earning salaries that do not exist in the government. Where is colonialism in all these things I have outlined? A man who said that education is free for girls, but the moment you become pregnant, your family will start paying fees. A nice way of fighting moral decadence. Who are we going to blame? Where did he get the money? He came and saw the hospital. President goes down to the hospital. Beds were scattered, rotting, patients were sleeping on the floor. He fired the entire medical staff and gave them 1 month to repair all the beds in Tanzania. And suddenly from nowhere, the beds were repaired in the space of 2 months. Okay.
Folks, so what to be fine? The chronicle of events and leadership. Awomo abase umweshema Africa etimi akoyi. Nanso umwewie ni. Opese oka nipa oka homa Kwame Nkrumah etu na de so no. So he was referring to Kutuka. Yeah. Now what the upa check it. Let's stay a while longer with Ghana. Check all the leaders are one more better on my so. Na se wo be free akonya so, wo free akonya so. The setup, the conspirators ni na no were within. And one of Ghana's military coup back when Aikweku was tasked to investigate and do a documentary. Is the overthrow of Ghana's head of state, General Ignatius Kutu Echampong. And Meme Company, the Hawk Investigations, any year documentary. Documentary will be a Joy News for a year. Miami Channel, the Hawk TV, Yensu part 1, 2, and 3. Go and read. Kwana Kokoshe, how this documentary showcase the life and times of Kutu Echampong. And no, and a year the military coup you're describing in our history said the palace coup. Yes. Kutu Echampong remained the only military officer who take over the reins of administration. Nenyoma became like a student of Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. But on for administration in Mary, the 7-year rule of Kutu Echampong, Onwa ni defense chief of staff. Huh? Lieutenant General Ekufu. And Omutu na so. Yes. He's been where in Europe, where in Asia, and many other continents now better it is as way except Africa. Dia womudija enu. When we say the yadwini is it here. Bonin kwati bi ameka cho say ebi before ye wo ye bonim, ye dware boni, ye da wo bonim, ye sorry wo bonim. We are simply evil. Didem maku no we koshia unante 1,000 miles no we koshia another one be a good kakra. Unama no we she didem maku. The rest ushia 10 or possibly zomna evil. We are so evil. We are simply born bad. We are wicked. Ghana ni bi enu opese ni nua edwuma e succeed. Se wakoye obi edwuma ye se brana be ye for wa honden wo energy bra bebe hye edwuma nim. Nti se ye ha ya CMG edwuma kwaku ye se bra be ye show. There bi. Time open oba ye nneoma bisi basa. Be kind news time open or kind news. But ye edwuma ni say time open now so the wickedness behind all this is there. What person bosume so a ye diska to na ketuem ye de to the account no otam no kodie. Yes, but then the sad part is there, all above this syndrome, these are people who also are really much closer to God, with our so-called some pastors, prophets and bishops all scattered across this country. Kwesi ada Easter ibe mu koye dede he ozana aboniyefo yempe papa esum amene yen uko kanzo si ngaza asem ne njire ni ye hihye amanyo ku echi ni yedi nsamo a ensene mfata folks me the part 1 no AC ha say Ghana speaks national so say me dem uko ekwo wie a top secret blueprints uncovered the roadmap to the Danquest hegemony in Ghana. Indeed, the blueprints would also reveal the dark secrets of conglomeration of roadmap, detailing an alleged orchestration of a paramount chief together with excellence in government to they have what you call state capture. A DNA ABC expose and namkwemo ba giddy. Emube hupa. Nemedi infoni we chiraw. Watch this and make a sense of it. What is coming too close to your door. Take a listen.
A dynasty plan to continue the legacy of a family hungry for power has been uncovered. A plan that will make the Danquest rule forever. But here's the third. This will not stand, as the lens of the Frontline has captured a document titled Ejapadie. For details about the plan, findings, execution, and the blueprints of this whole dynasty plan, watch this space in the coming days, weeks, and months as we uncover the truth of the dynasty plan of the Danquest. This is Code Red Season 1 of the Frontline, coming soon.
Great, folks. As Ghana speaks, part 1, no. Because short break, me ba. The Ghana speaks extension will take off. Stick and stay. I am Kwekwan and I'll be right back.
Kekwanen.
Great, folks, we are back, and of course, we are back to Ghana Speaks Extension. Of course, I welcome you back to Ghana Speaks Extension, and tonight, the segment where you drew near friend, Ghana Speaks, under this, is the Frontline Investigate. And tonight, we announced the Frontline show in the coming event. Would be publishing hidden characters in the political space who want to ride on political expediency exploitation and make it to the top, yet with questionable characteristics. In the coming days event, enipa bi a wono mo hyehyɛ MPP mu, enipa bi a wono mo hyehyɛ NDC mu, aye o madwen so meye ohintadu echifo, ye de yehyem, ye twen mo wura ba omie wini power, then they countenance on the power. No makwa hyehyɛ agyeje omu posts, ministerial positions, deputy ministers, chief executives, no mo de ye nyoma ense na emfata. The same apply to NDC. One more train say, Ora John Mahama obenya post. Na woma jiji womu post nketenketena. And so no mu shema womu di bone. Na minise abriya yekase Ora John Mahama, one of the greatest lessons perhaps he might have learned is when he went to opposition. Ho and Ora John Mahama misusu say we who some true nature of some people he trusted when he was in government. Oh yes. Ebina mebeda ne di akere no. Tonight, NDC mpedifo mo mama so mrefi hase. Yeah. Tonight, the spotlight is on this man called Dr. Christopher Baire, former executive secretary, health training institutions, and also we are learning so on was the parliamentary candidates Emma the NDC in Techiman South. The picture no amonfa and two screen is my ne Ghana for ni huni ni papai. Now, I am to say this the NDC from former President John Mahama Monshe namuntie asemi amene mo beken. Namuntie na supreme. Muria, take the Frontline program out of the equation. Go and do your own investigations. Na muye investigations ni wia ascertain the report na dia mo pesa mo de no na mo de aye. But I will say to former President Mahama, Mr. President, beware of such characters we know. My job here would be to say one thing there. I am here to name, shame, and exposed. Menkata ni omasusa. Na eno na obi moma picture ne naso eno na obi atro message bi aba say na mamenka asem say ebra flyer no echo out a amanfo bi hu say hey and the spotlight no eda NDC personality bi so no. Then this fellow comes on Facebook or Sahinfa to write this, and I'm going to read it without editing. Or say nidin or say meaning say nidin no, but I know he may be watching or listening to this show. Or say Hassan Malam Hassan Tier. The management of Class Media will now realize the sense in Kwabna Bobie and sense resistance against his appointment. My appointment, Kwekwanan's appointment. This is one of the repugnant, the most stupid, useless idiocracy message that this fellow would write on the social media page. Hey, Masa. So we are bema enough for nature, so we do it papa at the show. And again, walk to CTV. I say, never one can sabe kasa some way chireme. What? Can you look at it, the check of it? And our face management they may be transit. Oh, bra, nabaye MPP be crusade against already no. The MPP star was omugu abanim. Huh? Are trying to have my meat to roast. Omo person mu roast me meat. And they won't say the NPP top officials plus some communicators would find adverse fault against the job and answer the expose of Kwekwana. And they won't hear. But you know what? On the other side, you know, the same MPP for no he said, there was some time ago in 2016, 2020. The same kwekwana no what baby na meka wo policies and programs ya yebo hu de rose ebeboa magana akoye na maka kire mu bi ne mu dada say me I don't my pledge is not for a political party. My pledge is for what? The state. And to ensure say before the state then comes a party or call it a government. Now the next is to ensure say who's our party now what abanimuno what policies and program when I see say ebetimia boamo my kanko akonenim that is why I have to support you to put your policies out there. And that would not necessarily make me an MPP or an NDC. It means that some boa on my puntu on my kanko and a me here there. All right. Now what be trot on some full side gumi page. Go and tell one no Bobby answer and go and learn. Okay. If you pledge your support for a political party or a personality in a party, I don't do that. I'm well civilized, well cultured. And I know what to do in order to ensure say, the nation Ghana gets well. I'm not here because of personality. So I don't build my life and my program on the shoulders of personality. I build it because Ghana first. Ghana must move on. Now, listen to me. Say NDC for it me bold enough to say a lot of a new man a party nimu. Ah, bebreni na ko wie se e de twe owura John Mahama akotwe ase entenye enu nie o. Do you know what some people are doing to John Mahama today? Na munya botre. There are a group of people even in NDC. Every now and then, yomo ya na se omo church report. Near the akoto John Mahama enim, no ma jiska no moko. And ubi says owura John Mahama neni eye sen and odi ehunioma ekoso yet. Do you betimi anticipate and say, oh, I have this group of gallant soldiers who wish me well. Say that woman na be dimitini called the promised land. Yet, and yes, Anna agron ni here. And you want me to sit here and then keep quiet and watch them do that thing. Yes, until by means of say Kwekwanan expose such charlatans in the NDC, you know, it gives you a cause to justify. So, and a journalist big Bobby and Sam said, they say, what the heck? Do you know? Don't go there. Don't let me abuse something I don't want to do it. I challenge any journalist in this country. And you must any nipa. Me put you the roadmap there. Me say, I don't have any competition with any journalist, whether in my household or outside my household. Nobody. Okay? I'm a unique and of course in my own right and in my own way of doing things. You will not tell me or give me the dictates of the job and professionalism as such. All right? To know that useless surrogate, you know, push yourself out there. If the likes of the Bobiansa will succeed to tell the negative story about Kwekwanana, this is me here. And of course, I don't support, if you are my friend and brother, let me who say, ya no, emfa impuntu of fema masa to heck, go, baby gina crowd. Impe some phones are. Into mopa, go. Kwatro ewo Facebook. Edian no man church on Facebook prior to my starting the show. Edian no man church on Facebook wo. Mo church on kwa siasem bebre ewo Facebook. I kept quiet. Kona me hwe ade. And he thinks I'll keep quiet for some nonsense way. Sure, massa. Ghana first too. Ghana best sorry. John Mahama should be pleased that we are doing this to save all these charlatans. Do you know what this man has done? Now make us say, we've sent a text message to this man. I understand say no person a parliamentary candidate. Emma NDC. One of the constituencies were him found. Is it a Techiman South or North, whatever? But the NDC should beware about him. On Saturday, exactly 3:40 p.m., this is the message that went to him. Follow up with calls to him. Hello, doctor. My name is Kwekwan, an investigative journalist. I have tried reaching you since yesterday, Friday, 22nd March 2024, but efforts yielded no results. Please revert the call for a discussion. Thank you, Kweku. And the date you're saying, this unscrupulous scavenger. Tell me today's date. National date here. The ma papa is on from omra meaning komo waiting yaba. Yet Oshen this mu quietly. So John Mahama we need power. Obe place obe kwa lobby. Akoye nyoma ensem fata. Na me chira nyoma o tia bontinwa ne bonia. Wodi in the name of NDC. Edi have say NDC na. Che won try on kaka ansem fun no. Now the Frontline Investigate team have intercepted a voluminous document, including the Auditor General's report revealing misappropriation, plus forceful trespass of a parcel of land belonging to a Ghanaian base in the United States. Pape, ya capture Auditor General reporter, say, wa misappropriate funds be, ni na egu Wednesday Tonight we shall walk our listeners and viewers through the path to unravel this situation, and we urge the political establishment to beware of such characters who are making their way into the political corridors, to be very vigilant, sharp, to avoid people who oftentimes use the name of the party to intimidate people for their personal political breakthrough. Amanye ko ncha mukra mo monse maye se kweku mo expose nkrofo mo hwehwe ya party no di bone. Yes. In view of the above, I personally will call on the National Democratic Congress to take a cognizance look of the above development and investigate further before it's too late. Our first document we intercepted is a material binding Dr. Christopher Baye and a Ghanaian base in the United States, Madame Florence Opokunsia, seeking to resolve the impasse on the conditions of settlement. And we have the documents here, shall we? Documents we are maybe kind of which I say. Apart from say ya pick documents, papa ono nana NDC breso. Now yeah, former executive secretary Emma health training institutions, you know. Sikebi eko so ho a Auditor General ora dom level e na tro nyame na mtro e kwan a odi says can ade odi says can odi ye. But you see, wo man a emra bi ye basabasa se ya the likes of Bayer number form ho adi. No mu wi a party ne besen aba ban mu still no masen akoji post no masen perpetuate the same crime and the same Auditor General beba be investigate wo mu wi a no ma form ho adi. This is the country you want me to understand and we build. Papa uye ne twere hwa. Ora Dr. Baire etutu mirika akogye ban bibi so asase in the name of say or a politician. Nti asase no ma mini po on bill e so fast asase no. Ade nti na obeyesa. Do you think the NDC bear the semblance of this forceful machoism? Zanetie. Na muni mi se mo yesa mo di gu mo am party na nimu ase afi wo di gu candidate na nimu ase enti sa individual na ukoye sa admiti an so no ogi na nim se wo bodewuro against o candidate no say mo amudi nachi mo ye tutrafo mo ye say what do you think you are doing to wo candidate no eboa mo candidate no and so now wo to na wo yes adwe na John Mahama etini fie no onim ho hwe osusu se ense ubode wuro na party ne ehun ya akondo party no eyeden ehun ba mfa so enipa ekondo party no mba ebesom party na enso mo hwe hodin quiet papay eyora Dr. Christopher Baire ekokogye maami asase a chese entiase ba ku se enim na ye ka bibia na weturo ne hands and there's an allegations be say he thinks NDC is coming to power and then your mamino uncle to hell. So I need to know as home. And this is what politicians need be the motive. And I'm saying that our Trojan horse is monitoring. Makachemo. Mabobo binibidin wa. Woman MPP NDC. Haruna Drusu Maka me say their course E-levy umeka no krenjere. Afenyo marking their course E-levy umeka no krenjere. The Speaker of Ghana's Parliament where penny mabonidin. What is all my babontain? Kwana kobi so mse nti omuntimi ma bonten. na Dr. Byron yeboni di enye yi. Look at this useless people madwini nya adwuma sa. Ade on maame ye why agreement o. Abra wo kɔ share maame na asase so wo gi asase ni free maame ni nsɛm no. Owie no ɔno asan etena ase ni maame no. Eya agreement kwan obefa so a ɔde maame na asase ɔde bɛma no. And this agreement was legally bind. Papa ni signature ehye mu bie. Why would you now go out there and then say won't agreement ni nya adwuma? I didn't do this myself. We intercepted all of this. Na maame kan document ni mu nsɛm enkyerɛw. De ɔno ankasa papa yi ɔne maame no ɛyɛ. Ni embisa sɛ the conduct of Dr. Byre, does it represent the qualities, the semblance and everything about the leadership of the NDC? Now, folks, I'm waiting with the agreement not to so and that screen is on. Into wash it. Now says I mean I'm a Troya. Also, this agreement is made this day of May 2022 between Dr. Christopher Byre of PO Box 1915 Sunyane, owner proprietor of Kesby International School of the first part, and Miss Florence Opoku Insia of PO Box 2244 Sunyane of the second part. Now, I say, Dr. Byre and Miss Opoku Insia both own separate plots of land on a land originally referred to and described as Block A, Abisim, Chidom, Sector 16 on Doma Stool lands. Both Dr. Byre and Miss Florence Opoku have a common grantor in the person of Paul Jehu of PO Box 1915 Sunyane. Dr. Byre's said plot of land Abast shares boundary with the land of Miss Poku Insia. Dr. Byre has developed his part of the land into a school named as Kesby International, if I get it right, school, and is operating. Dr. Byre, in developing his land, has also strayed onto Miss Opoku Insia's Abaten land and has developed same within the past 6 months under the mistaken belief that Mrs. Poku's Insia's land form part of his Dr. Byre's land. Sane we are here town. Wasa asinye obi su die nie, but because nipa ni hɔ ninti wo hyɛda jiwenim ɛna wo kɔɛ ɛna kyerɛ sɛ wo si wo die wie o wasan a trespass obi asase so akotam na asase asan I extend AC edan so school was edan AC was so na etre wi ase won ye didi wan che be dem. And I tell you folks, such a normal way of making is going on in many circles. And nipa the normal way di nipa wo menwa wo munya kama form wo munka o masem. And I have many such cases I'm investigating. Na wo kom na wutia areho. Mo said the last time me be bo real estate mami bi din I friend is Samampa real estate. Me say mo be tie mu nsem. Kona koko find out. Some mami we Samampa real estate. E konya mami we di nipa bi fa so ha. All because she has what? The police in her pocket. She has the BNI in her pocket. She has some military top officers in her pocket. Into the open with me here. Yet we are saying, what the Ghana edrum pempenswa baby ekono afie bedru baby nipa ni de ombe nipa be treat you. Wo treat you no obi so treat you. Sana mo pe no. Why would a personality like Dr. Christopher Byre ebetu anamo eti say? Now share. Or see, in a meeting conveyed by their grantor, Mr. Paul Jehu, to resolve the issue, Dr. Byre has agreed that he will replace Miss Opoku Insia's lost land. Naturally, say, Ebra wonum ko meeting no. Papaya oton asasi edema Miss friends Opoku Insia. Ono aso so na oton asase edema Dr. Christopher Byre nti obi a wona asase e ba ne sen na Dr. Christopher Byre wutimi kɔ wasase wu si wudan wo so na wo san down ho na ukoko wia sebe maame na asase adenti na obeyesa ena ekoba ese papa yi a oton asase ne mo mienu na eye grantor no eye owura friend say Paul Jehu ɔne mpanimfo mmienu ɛtena ase maame no ne papa yi doctor yi ɛtena ase sɛ ɔbɛ resolve adenamom wɔn bɛ resolve no deɛ kɔyɛ ne sɛ Dr. Christopher Baye ɛyɛ n'adwene sɛ ɔbɛ replace maame no asase ɛde ama no sɛn na asɛm no koko wie tie ɔse now the parties agree as follows that Dr. Baye shall replace Ms. Opoku in Sien's land he has developed by purchasing a plot of land that also